Every morning is a brand new beginning, a clean page waiting for you to write your story on it. But most people wake up and start repeating the same story from yesterday. The same doubts, the same fears, the same disappointments. They open their eyes, and instead of saying something that builds them, they whisper words that break them. They say, "I'm tired. Nothing's working. Maybe I'm not lucky." And that's how another day dies before it even starts. But what if you could change that story? What if every morning you could reprogram your mind to believe, to feel powerful, to create the life you actually deserve? Every morning, before you pick up your phone, before you check notifications, before the noise of the world enters your mind, say this to yourself: "Today, I am in control of my thoughts. Today, I choose strength over excuses. Today, I am becoming who I was meant to be." You see, life doesn't change in one big dramatic moment. It changes in these small, quiet moments when no one's watching. When you look in the mirror and decide to speak power into your soul. The first words you say in the morning are like seeds. They grow throughout the day. If you plant negative words, you harvest negative feelings. But if you plant words of power, you walk through the day with purpose, confidence, and energy that attracts everything you want. Think about it. The world you live in isn't made of what happens outside. It's made of what happens inside your head. If you wake up and say, "I can handle whatever comes my way," your brain starts looking for strength. But if you wake up and say, "I can't do this anymore," your brain starts collecting reasons to give up. You become what you say. Your words are not just sound, they are code. And every morning, you are the programmer. There are two kinds of mornings, one where you react and one where you lead. The first one belongs to most people. They wake up and scroll. They let the world tell them what to feel. The second one belongs to the few. They wake up and speak life into themselves. They take a deep breath and say, "I'm grateful for this day. I'm blessed to be alive. I am ready to grow." And that simple habit starts shifting everything. Their body language changes, their confidence rises, their decisions get sharper, and life begins to respond differently. Every morning is a chance to reset your energy. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to know every step ahead. You just need to start by saying, "I'm ready." Say it with faith. Say it like you mean it. Because when you talk to yourself with love and certainty, your entire world starts to reorganize itself around your words. Here's the truth. Your life follows your language. If you say, "I'm always unlucky," your mind starts finding evidence of that. If you say, "Good things always find me," your brain starts hunting for those good things. You literally train your subconscious mind to align with your voice. That's why the most successful people on earth all have one thing in common. They control their morning. They don't let the day control them. They speak their truth before the world speaks lies to them. So tomorrow, when you wake up, don't rush. Sit up. Take a deep breath. Feel your heartbeat. That's the sound of life choosing you again. You've been given one more sunrise, one more chance, one more shot to become a better version of yourself. Don't waste it repeating yesterday's words. Create new ones. Say, "Today I am stronger than my doubts. Today I am focused on growth, not fear. Today I am grateful for everything I have and everything that's coming." And mean every word, because your words are like arrows. Once released, they fly into your future. They don't just describe your life, they design it. We often think success is about what we do, but it's more about what we say to ourselves before we act. You can have the best strategy, the best ideas, but if your self-talk is full of poison, nothing will work. The voice inside your head is the most powerful influencer in your life. You listen to it more than anyone else. And if that voice is negative, life feels heavy. But if that voice becomes your cheerleader, every obstacle turns into an opportunity. Start small. Every morning, say 5 sentences that build you up. Even if you don't believe them yet, keep saying them.
because repetition turns words into beliefs, and beliefs turn into reality. Say, I am capable. I am deserving. I am not behind. I am right on time. The moment you say these things, something shifts inside. You stop fighting against yourself and start standing with yourself. That's when miracles happen. Not because magic appears, but because your mindset becomes your miracle. Remember this, your morning is your foundation. You can't build a strong day on weak thoughts. That's why you must protect your first hour like it's gold. Don't feed your mind garbage. Don't open social media. Don't compare. Just feed your spirit with words of purpose. When you control your first hour, the next 23 start to obey. So tomorrow morning, don't just wake up. Rise up. Rise with intention. Rise with gratitude. Rise with power. And say to yourself, not quietly, but with conviction, I am ready for greatness. I am no longer who I was yesterday. I am becoming the best version of myself. That one habit, that 1 minute of power every morning can change your entire life.
Every morning, the world is silent for a few seconds. Before the notifications, before the responsibilities, before the rush, there is a sacred moment where life waits for you to speak first. That moment is your power. That moment is your reset button. Most people let that moment pass like it means nothing. But the truth is, that small window decides the tone of your entire day. And this is why what you say every morning matters more than you realize. When you wake up and your feet touch the ground, you're stepping into a new reality, one you have the ability to shape. But shaping that reality starts with your voice. There is strength hidden inside you that wakes up only when you call it by name. That's why the first words you say in the morning must be words that wake up your potential, not your problems. Say this: today, I choose courage over fear. Fear is natural. Fear has always been a part of you. But courage needs to be activated. Courage needs to be spoken into existence. When you tell yourself that you choose courage, your actions slowly begin to align with bravery. You start making decisions you once ran away from. You start trying things you once believed were impossible. A single sentence in the morning can ignite a fire you've been trying to light for years. Most people underestimate the power of their inner voice. They think thoughts happen automatically, but thoughts respond to the words you choose. If you start your day saying, "This is going to be tough," your mind begins hunting for difficulty. But if you start by saying, "I'm built for challenges," your mind begins searching for solutions. This simple shift doesn't change the world outside, but it changes the world inside. And that is where everything begins. Say this every morning: I am open to opportunities today. Opportunities don't always knock loudly. Sometimes they whisper. Sometimes they hide inside problems. Sometimes they show up disguised as hard work. But when you tell yourself that you are open to opportunities, your awareness sharpens. You become more observant. You notice possibilities that others miss. You recognize your chance when it comes. You stop waiting for luck and start creating momentum. Morning words are not about pretending everything is perfect. They are about reminding yourself that you are powerful enough to handle whatever is not. They're about shifting your mindset from, "Why is this happening to me?" to, "How can I grow from this?" And that shift, that tiny shift, changes everything. Because the person who believes they can grow from challenges will always rise higher than the person who feels trapped by them. Every morning, take a deep breath and tell yourself, "I release what I cannot control." We carry so much weight: memories, regrets, mistakes, pain, fear of the future. And we carry it quietly, as if it's our responsibility to hold on to every bruise life ever gave us. But you were not created to drag your past into every sunrise. You were created to live, to learn, to grow, to heal, and to move forward. When you say, "I release what I cannot control," you are freeing your heart from unnecessary pain. You are giving yourself permission to be human. You are choosing peace instead of pressure. And after you release, remind yourself of your strength. Say, "I trust myself." These are three of the most powerful words you can ever speak. Trusting yourself means believing that the decisions you make are worthy. It means trusting that you can learn along the way. It means knowing that even if you fall, you have the strength to rise again. When you trust yourself, you stop seeking validation for everything you do. You stop waiting for approval. You stop living for other people's expectations. Instead, you start living for your own purpose. Your morning words are like a map. They point your mind in the direction you want to travel. And the mind is loyal. If you give it a map, it will follow. If you tell it, "Today will drain me," it will look for exhaustion. But if you tell it, "Today I am aligned with my purpose," it will seek meaning. It will find passion. It will chase clarity. Say this every morning: "I am becoming better every single day." You may not see progress daily. You may not feel the changes. But progress is like sunrise. It happens slowly, quietly, beautifully, even when you're not watching. Every small improvement counts. Every tiny step matters. Every moment of discipline adds up. And when you remind yourself that you are growing, you stop being impatient with your journey. You start respecting the process. You stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Morning words also remind you of your identity. Too often, we let the world tell us who we are. People label us. Situations define us. Failures make us doubt ourselves. But your identity is not something others decide. It is something you speak into existence. So every morning, tell yourself, "I am worthy of success, love, peace, and happiness." Because you are. Worthiness isn't something you earn. It's something you recognize. And once you recognize it, everything in your life starts rising to match that belief. Another powerful morning declaration is this: "Today, I will give my best, and my best is enough." This sentence frees you from pressure. It frees you from perfection. It frees you from the fear of judgment. When you give your best, you win, even if the result isn't what you expected. Because winning is not always about the outcome. Sometimes it's about the effort, the discipline, the courage to show up. Every morning is your chance to reconnect with yourself, to remind yourself of who you are when the world is quiet, to speak life into your spirit before the day tests your strength. When you start your day with powerful words, you build a mental shield. Negativity hits you, but it doesn't break you. Challenges come, but they don't crush you, because you've already told yourself, "I am strong, I am ready, I am growing." And most importantly, say this: "Today, I choose to be alive, not just exist." Existing means moving through the day without intention. Living means embracing each moment fully. Existing means reacting. Living means creating. Existing means waiting. Living means acting. When you decide to live, the smallest moments become meaningful. The challenges become lessons. The happiness becomes deeper. The purpose becomes clearer. Your morning words are not magic spells. They are commitments. Commitments to yourself, your journey, your dreams, your growth. When you repeat them consistently, something powerful happens inside you. You stop doubting your ability. You stop fearing the unknown. You stop running from your potential. You start standing tall. You start believing again. You start living again. Every morning, Life gives you a silent invitation, an invitation to rise above who you were yesterday. But most people wake up and immediately step back into old patterns. They wake up with yesterday's worries, yesterday's stress, yesterday's disappointments still sitting on their shoulders. They forget that a new morning is not just another sunrise, it is another chance to reinvent yourself. And the first step of reinvention begins with the words you speak. Say this every morning: I am responsible for my life. These 6 words are powerful because they shift you from a victim of life to the creator of life. When you say them, you eliminate excuses. You stop blaming people. You stop blaming situations. You take ownership of your choices, your reactions, your habits, your dreams. Responsibility is not a burden. It is freedom. It means your life is in your hands. It means you get to decide who you become. And once you start believing that, everything changes. Most people live on autopilot. They wake up, repeat the same routine, feel the same emotions, think the same thoughts, and then wonder why life looks exactly the same year after year. But when you start your morning with intention and ownership, you stop living passively. You start living powerfully. You become aware of the choices you make. You start choosing differently. Because now, every morning, you have reminded yourself that your life is yours to shape. Say this: I am grateful for what I have and excited for what's coming. Gratitude is one of the most transformative forces in human existence. It grounds you. It reminds you that even in chaos, you are blessed. It shifts your focus from what is missing to what is already present. And excitement brings hope. When you combine gratitude and excitement in the morning, you create emotional balance. One foot in appreciation, the other in ambition. You become content but not complacent. You become driven but not desperate. And gratitude opens doors. A grateful mind does not complain, it creates. A grateful heart does not fear lack, it attracts abundance. Gratitude in the morning fills your day with clarity, calmness, and confidence. Another powerful morning affirmation is, my mind is my strongest asset. You can lose opportunities, face disappointments, or struggle through tough times. But as long as your mind stays strong, you can rebuild everything. Most battles are not fought outside, they are fought inside. And the moment your mind becomes your ally, not your enemy, life becomes easier. When you wake up and declare your mind as your strength, you remind yourself to guard it from negativity, distractions, and doubt. You become conscious of what you consume, thoughts, content, conversations. You stop letting anything and anyone drain your mental energy. Every morning, also tell yourself, I deserve to take up space in this world. Too many people shrink themselves. They hide their talents. They silence their voices. They lower their dreams because they think they are not worthy of something big. But you were not born to stay small. You were born to express, to create, to grow, to impact. Telling yourself you deserve space is not arrogance. It is self-recognition. It is honoring the fact that you are here for a reason. And once you acknowledge your worth, you start walking with confidence. You start speaking with clarity. You stop apologizing for your existence. You stop fearing judgment. You start showing up fully. And the world begins to take you seriously. Success begins with self-permission. Say this every morning. I choose actions that match my goals. Dreams are beautiful, but dreams without aligned actions remain fantasies. When you say this line, you remind yourself that your goals need your discipline. Your dreams need your focus. Your ambitions need your consistency. The world is full of people who want better lives, but only a few are willing to act differently to create those lives. When you start your day with this commitment, you program yourself to make better decisions throughout the day. You eat better, you work smarter, you protect your time, you avoid distractions,
You stay consistent, even on the days you don't feel motivated. One of the most important morning declarations is, I am stronger than the challenges in front of me. Life will always test you. There will be days when everything feels heavy, when nothing seems to work, when you feel alone in your struggle. But reminding yourself that you are stronger than your challenges gives you resilience. It turns pressure into power. It turns fear into fuel. It turns setbacks into stepping stones. Because challenges are not signs that you're weak. They are signs that you're growing. And every time you face them with courage, you expand your strength. Say this too. I allow myself to grow at my own pace. Not everyone grows at the same speed. Not everyone learns at the same time. Not everyone wins at the same age. And that's okay. Life is not a race. Comparison steals joy. Growth takes patience. When you allow yourself to grow at your own pace, you stop beating yourself up for not being where others are. You stop rushing your journey. You stop doubting your progress. You start trusting your timing. And your timing is always right for you. Every morning you should also remind yourself, I am becoming the person I used to admire. Because that is the truth. Whether you see it or not, you are evolving. You are learning things you never knew. You are surviving things you didn't think you could. You are breaking patterns you once thought were permanent. You are becoming stronger, wiser, more aware, more courageous. Sometimes growth is loud. Sometimes it is silent. But it is happening. And saying this line every morning helps you acknowledge your journey without comparing it to anyone else's. Say this as well. My energy creates my reality. If your energy is low, your day becomes heavy. If your energy is chaotic, your day feels stressful. But if your energy is confident, calm, and focused, your day becomes productive and meaningful. Your energy shapes your tone, your emotions, your decisions, your interactions. So choose energy that attracts positivity. Choose energy that protects your peace. Choose energy that aligns with your dreams. And finally, every morning end with this. Today is a gift, and I will not waste it. Because that's the truth. Millions of people didn't wake up today. You did. That alone means your life still has purpose. That means your story isn't done. That means your journey still matters. When you remind yourself that today is a gift, you stop taking life for granted. You stop wasting time. You stop sitting in regret. You start using the hours you have wisely, intentionally, beautifully.
Every morning, you stand at the doorway between who you were and who you can become. That space, that tiny moment before the world enters your mind, is where transformation begins. It is the moment where your voice becomes your compass. It is where your words shape your direction. And the truth is, every sunrise carries the potential to rewrite your entire destiny if you choose the right words to guide you. Say this every morning. I am ready to step into my purpose. Your purpose isn't something you find one day like a lost object. It is something you step into gradually, piece by piece, decision by decision. Every morning when you remind yourself that you are ready for purpose, you open your mind to meaning. You stop running from things that scare you. You stop distracting yourself from what matters. You become more aware of what feels right and what doesn't. Purpose isn't loud. It speaks softly, and the only way to hear it is to quiet the noise and speak your intention at the start of each day. Say this too. I forgive myself from my past, and I welcome my future. Forgiveness is liberation. Too many people start their mornings carrying guilt like a heavy bag. They replay mistakes. They relive pain. They punish themselves for things they can't change. But your past is not a prison. It is a lesson. When you forgive yourself every morning, You free space inside your heart for new experiences, new goals, new dreams. Forgiveness is not about forgetting. It is about releasing yourself from the weight of regret so that you can move forward with lightness. Another powerful morning declaration is, I choose peace today, regardless of circumstances. Life will always try to unsettle you. There will always be distractions, problems, unexpected challenges. But peace is not the absence of chaos. It is the ability to stay centered in the middle of it. When you choose peace in the morning, you prepare yourself emotionally. You become unshakable. You stop reacting and start responding. You develop emotional maturity that protects your energy throughout the day. And once you taste inner peace, you stop allowing external noise to disturb your inner world. Say this every morning: I give myself permission to succeed. This may sound simple, but many people fear success, not consciously, but deep inside, they don't feel worthy of good things. They sabotage their own progress. They stop themselves from trying. They shrink their dreams to match their fears. Giving yourself permission to succeed removes that internal barrier. It opens the door for abundance. It tells your mind, I deserve good things, and I am ready to receive them. When you start believing this, opportunities start appearing in unexpected ways. Next, remind yourself, I will rise above negativity, no matter where it comes from. Negativity is everywhere, in conversations, on social media, in your environment, sometimes even within your own mind. But you are not required to absorb what others throw at you. You are allowed to filter, distance, ignore, and protect your peace. When you say this sentence every morning, you set a boundary. You remind yourself that negativity will not define your mood or your mindset. You stop giving emotional power to things that don't deserve it.
Every morning, also say, I choose discipline over comfort. Comfort is seductive. It keeps you warm, relaxed, and safe, but it also keeps you stuck. Nothing great grows inside the comfort zone. Growth lives in discomfort. Success lives in consistency. Transformation lives in discipline. When you remind yourself of this every morning, you start showing up even when it's hard. You work even when you don't feel like it. You follow through on your commitments. You build habits that turn dreams into achievements. Discipline is love. Love for your future self. Say this, too. I trust the timing of my life. Not everything needs to happen today. Not every dream needs to be fulfilled instantly. Life has its seasons. Moments of planting, moments of waiting, moments of blooming. When you trust timing, you reduce anxiety. You stop comparing, you stop rushing, you start appreciating the pace of your journey. Some blessings take time, some lessons need patience, and some success stories begin quietly before they explode gloriously. Trust your path. It is unfolding exactly as it should. Each morning, remind yourself, I am not defined by doubt. I am defined by possibility. Everyone has doubts, even the strongest people. Doubt is human, but possibility is your power. When you start your day focusing on what is possible instead of what might go wrong, you shift your entire emotional state. You become more creative. You become more optimistic. You become more motivated. Doubt closes doors. Possibility opens them. And the direction of your focus determines the direction of your life.
Say this every morning. I attract people who uplift and support me. Your environment is one of the strongest influences on your success. If you surround yourself with negative, fearful, jealous, or draining people, your growth slows. But when you shift your morning mindset to attract better people, you become more aware of your relationships. You start recognizing who deserves space in your life and who doesn't. You start valuing people who encourage your dreams. you start creating a circle that aligns with your growth. Your energy attracts your tribe, and morning words help tune that energy. Also say, I will create something meaningful today. Meaning gives life depth. Meaning gives your day purpose. When you decide every morning to create something meaningful, no matter how small, you live with intention. Maybe it's progress toward a goal. Maybe it's a thoughtful conversation. Maybe it's helping someone. Maybe it's learning something new. Meaningful actions create meaningful days, and meaningful days create a meaningful life. And finally, the most powerful morning declaration you can ever make. I am ready for a better life, and I am becoming that person today. This sentence is transformation distilled into words, because your life improves only when you do. When you say that you are ready for a better life, you activate hope. When you say you are becoming that person today, you activate action. Together, hope and action create destiny. They move you out of stagnation. They awaken your hunger for growth. They remind you that your future is not built in one giant moment. It is built through the choices you make today. Say it with conviction. Say it with emotion. Say it with faith. Say it every morning until it becomes a part of your identity. Because the truth is simple. Your morning becomes your mindset. Your mindset becomes your behavior. Your behavior becomes your habits. Your habits become your identity. Your identity becomes your destiny. Every morning is a chance to rewrite that destiny. Every morning is a chance to rise higher. Every morning is a chance to become stronger. Every morning is a chance to speak greatness into your life. And when you speak it, you begin to live it.